Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And we have some cards here that already popped out. But like I was saying, in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorns on... I'm going to go ahead and put these cards back. Actually, no, I'm going to take them. The energy felt right. But like I was saying, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorn on Thursdays. And for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Robin Wood Tarot. And as always, if you're interested in getting a personal reading from me, the link is in the description below. But just as a final heads up, I'm going to try to draw around 8 or 9 cards for you guys. And sometimes the cards will flip around in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually won't take them unless they jump out like these cards have. Okay, so I'm just going to take this moment to remind you guys that if you enjoyed the video, to like and subscribe or leave a comment. I really love reading through those, but your overall energy here is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is a really nice energy to have, actually, because the Seven of Pentacles talks about sort of feeling rewarded for your efforts, right? And a lot of times, I liken it to sort of watching a situation grow, right? And a lot of times, I feel like it has to do with almost even recording something, right? So like having a spreadsheet open and you're sort of like measuring out a plant or something and like sort of penciling in how much it's grown and how much it's not grown. Let me just darken that a little bit so it's hopefully a little bit easier to see the cards. But like I was saying, I think that you guys are right now in a stage where you're seeing a lot of the things that you were putting energy into in the past grow. A lot of the seeds of intention that you planted in the past. And I think that a lot of these things that you really wanted, you were sort of in the energy of where something may have gone wrong, especially with this Five of Cups here, but you really want to just like course correct, right? I feel like you guys have been hurt recently, but now you want to do everything that you possibly can to leave that energy, right? Because the Five of Cups talks about disappointment. And it's important to note that the Five of Cups is in reverse here. So I feel like you guys are really trying to leave this energy of being disappointed. And it's very interesting because the Five of Cups usually talks about like a look on the bright side kind of a situation. And I feel like right now you guys aren't really in the mood for that. And I feel like it's one of those things where it's like when you're really hurting or when you're in a bad situation, you know, telling somebody to look on the bright side can feel a little patronizing and a little like condescending. But I feel like you guys are genuinely coming from a place of wanting to improve the situation, and this isn't an energy of entitlement. Like, you guys know full well that if you want to see change in the situation, you need to put energy towards it and make the actions in order to change that. And I feel like you guys definitely have. And with this Ace of Cups here, you've definitely taken the steps towards your new beginning. And the fact that the Ace of Cups is here is just further confirming to you guys that that new beginning that you've been working towards is here. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, probably this has to do with love. I think that you've been hurt in the past, especially recently with some kind of an ex or some kind of a person that didn't really have your best interests at heart, but you've sort of decided that you're going to grow from it. And I think that's really admirable. And I see that there's going to be a lot of victory here because you have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is the card of victory, right? And then you have the Eight of Pentacles here, or sorry, the Eight of Swords here. And the Eight of Swords talks about feeling trapped. So I think that in the past, you felt like you were kind of trapped, like you were almost tied to this connection, but now you're feeling very powerful, very much in your energy, and very much like you're able to walk away and able to strike out on your own and find success, right? And with the Star card here, I feel like your main wish is sort of this love, right? The love that you've been wishing for. But you have also the Nine of Pentacles here, right? And it's always a really wonderful card to have when you're looking into love, because I feel like all too often people try to look for love as a way of completing themselves, right? And people sort of use this relationship as a way of not having to work on themselves. But in order for you to actually have a very meaningful relationship, you're going to want a situation where you're giving 100% and they're giving 100%. Right? Because if you give 50% and they give 100%, then you end up with like 3/4 of a relationship, 3/4 of the effort, I should say, if that makes sense, right? So I think that you definitely acknowledge that. And I feel like you guys in the past, like nobody's perfect. And I feel like you've been working on the things that you maybe struggled with in the past. And you've been acknowledging the things where you can grow and learn. And I feel like you've grown past a lot of those things, and I feel like now you're in a completely different headspace, and you're so much more equipped to have very long-lasting relationships. Like, I definitely feel that if you're seeing any kind of a trouble, it's probably more due to the other person than it is you. And I'm looking even just further along in the reading, you have the Eight of Cups, right? Now, the Eight of Cups is a very interesting energy to have here because the Eight of Cups talks about walking away. And I feel that in the past, especially with this Eight of Swords that you have here, you were very keen to sort of stay and work on the situation. And I feel like wanting to work something out is very admirable. It's a very good quality to have, but you also need to understand that you're not like some kind of a rehab for people who are having issues with committing, right? So you guys need to learn that, or rather, okay, I feel like in the past, definitely you were in that energy of wanting to fix someone, but that's never a good energy to have. You always want to be in a relationship where you can treat your partner like an equal, right? You want to be on equal footing, and you want them to be somebody that you can depend on if you need to. Like, you can find your support in them, and it's not just one-sided where they always find their support in you. And I feel like you've learned that lesson. And as a result, you're moving forward with this Page of Wands, and you're moving forward with this Knight of Cups, right? And there's some very powerful symbolism here with the elements, because the Knights are... Okay, there's some powerful energy to talk about in the fact that they're court cards, and then there's also energy to unpack in the fact, or rather, unpack their energy of the cards, right? Of the elements. So you have the Wands, right? And the Wands are fiery passion. And I feel like you guys are sort of beginning to reignite your flame, right? I know that when you're in sort of these kinds of situations where romantically things don't really work out, and you're just so stressed out about all these things, like the passion kind of dies out, and you enter like this survival mode almost, and it's not even like enjoyable a lot of the times. But I feel like you guys, especially in the past, did that from a place of love. And I feel like the love is very strong within you. And it's a very admirable quality. And that's why the Page is coming up as a wand, and the Knight is coming up as the Cups, right? Especially since you're a Cancer and water is your element. So you're working towards a situation where there is a message that's coming forth, and I almost feel like it's your message. I almost feel like these are qualities that you've sort of been cultivating within yourself. The Knight of Cups talks about emotions and love, and I feel like you're ready to come forth and tell someone, hey, I have these strong feelings for you. And with this sort of rekindling of the fire that we have here with this Page of Wands, it feels like you're starting to express your love energy a lot more passionately and a lot more flirtatious and a lot more fun and lighthearted, right? The Page of Wands oftentimes gets a lot of bad flack because they're a little flighty. They're not necessarily the most committed or whatever, but I don't feel like you're really coming up as a lot of those negative qualities. I feel like you guys are, also I looked at the timer on my video and it was 10:10, so you guys might be seeing some kind of synchronicities, but I feel like you guys are experiencing a very passionate time right now and a very powerful new beginning in love. But that was your reading for this time around. If you enjoyed Cancer, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Cancer videos on Thursdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that, I hope to see you guys next time for next reading.